So please make welcome our first speaker of this evening, competing in the junior competition, representing Altona College, is Caruthers.
The wind was heavy, the water crashing violently against the beaten rocks lining the bay. The long, white drapes the ship inhaled and exhaled, billows of air puffing and deflating the masts of the ships behind him. He had found it. It was perfect. Here, he would create the first British settlement ever to exist on these new lands. He was Captain Arthur Phillips. He had been given his big chance to succeed, and he would take it. But just beyond the viewpoint of the captain were the first people. The boats were unlike anything they had ever seen before, towering over them on a monstrous scale. And so, for fear of the worst, they held their weapons at the ready to protect their people. Little did they know. Slavery, abductions, blood, death. With the deepest respect, I would like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land that we call home. Good evening, everyone. My name is Caruthers, and tonight I will be talking about the day we all know as Australia Day. I believe the date of this holiday should legally change for all of Australia. You may be sitting here agreeing with me or knowing, oh, heard this one before, but the simple truth is, this issue has not been resolved. As Australians, it is our duty to make sure our country is inclusive and fair for everyone. Celebrating our country on January the 26th divides our nation, rather than bringing us all together, defeating the entire purpose of Australia Day itself. Moreover, it is extremely offensive to many members of the Australian Indigenous community to celebrate the unity of our country on the anniversary of the loss of their land and their people. Now, I don't know about anyone else here, but when I was a kid, I used to love Australia Day. I would dress up, join all fun activities at the park, or celebrate with an annual barbecue. I loved Australia Day, and in all honesty, it was one of my favourite holidays. Raise your hand if you've done any of these things to celebrate Australia Day. Yeah? I love the fact that our country got to celebrate who we are and where we come from. I was blissfully unaware of the history surrounding January the 26th. As I grew up, my family started to become more and more aware of the controversies around Australia Day. We gradually reduced our activities and celebrations, and Australia Day became an awkward topic. No longer a celebration, rather a debate. I believe our country deserves a day that we can have as ours. No controversies, no racist origins. I want our generation and the ones after to be able to celebrate Australia Day freely, for the entirety of Australia to honour our modern ways and values in harmony, as one. Because we are one and free. A day of celebration for our beautiful country should unite us all as Australians. But celebrating on January the 26th, it tears us apart. Now, I passionately believe that celebrations on January the 26th are extremely offensive. 235 years ago, a group of 11 ships known as the First Fleet landed in Botany Bay. The chosen anniversary of this day was the 26th of January. Australia Day. Invasion Day. January 26th was truly not a day of triumph or pride. January 26th for many symbolises the loss for over 24,000 Australians that lost their lives protecting their land and their people. The loss of over 100,000 children stolen from their homes and their families. The loss of the longest living culture in the world. People died that day. Innocent people were slaughtered. And for what? For the protection of their home. Can you think about any other tragedy in Australia where we actually celebrate rather than commemorate or mourn the devastating loss of tens of thousands of people? Australians of today are not directly responsible for what happened in the past, but it's part of our shared history as Indigenous and non-Indigenous Australians. And together we are responsible for what happens now and in the future. Keeping Australia Day on January 26 demonstrates our ignorance of the gravity of devastation and ongoing impacts to the traditional owners of our land, our nation's first people. 24,000 people have died. Think about that next time you hold your annual barbecue. Think about that. The date of Australia Day needs a change. I don't want to live in a world where murder is a celebration. I don't want my kids to live in a world where murder is a celebration. Slavery, abductions, blood, death. Little did they know. Thank you.